guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Courtney. Today we are diving into naughty versus nice list DIYs, so let's get started. Kicking off this first DIY, you need a piece of wood. I had this 1x2 in my scrap pile. You can pick up some wood from your local hardware store if you'd like, or if you want to save a little money, grab some of the tower blocks from Dollar Tree and you can piece them together just with a little bit of hot glue and get this same general shape. I started off by painting this piece of wood with the Waverly White chalk paint. After the piece of wood was all painted, I grabbed some of this wire from Dollar Tree. It's the thicker wire. They've got it in different colors, red and yellow, green. The color really doesn't matter because what did I do? I grabbed some baker's twine and I spun right round, all the way around this wire until it was almost covered, but I left a little bit of a tail on both of the ends. Taking two packages of these metal letters, well, I should say two packages of because they're divided up, A through M, and then two packages of the N through Z, so basically you need 4 packages total. I'm going to spell out the words nice and naughty and use hot glue to attach it to my board. I made 2 small pencil marks on my board and I grabbed my Dremel and drilled down 2 holes so that I could hot glue my metal piece that's been wrapped in the baker's twine into those holes. But before I glue that in those holes with some hot glue, I needed to thread some beads on there. I just used some 18mm beads and I put 6 on there and then hot glued my little arch into the holes. The last step was to take 4 of these small green trees from Dollar Tree and hot glue those onto the top of the sign. And then you've got yourself a little sign that you can swish those bees around, whether you're feeling nice or maybe you're being a little naughty. Moving into this next DIY, I picked up this sign from Dollar Tree, and the first step was to break it apart. I wasn't quite sure if I was going to be able to, but these 2 pieces of the frame actually just snapped together really nicely, so it made it super easy. I took it apart and I took the 2 pieces of the frame outside to spray paint them. This frame is actually kind of a shade of green, and the funny thing is that I spray painted it because I have some green spray paint, and it's pretty much the same color as it is now. So if you're thinking, okay, she said she took it out and spray painted, but it looks the same. Yeah, it's pretty much the same color, but hey, you can't always win. I needed the little hook off of this plastic thing. It popped off really easily, so I will be setting that aside, but you won't need the plastic anymore, except for you will need it to use it as a template. I grabbed some of this red corrugated cardboard that I had. It's from Cricut, but I know that Michaels sells the same type scrap in their scrapbook paper section. And I used the plastic sheet as a template, and that's going to now become the base of my sign that's going to be snapped back into the frame. Now I needed to work on my flip sign, so I had this piece of wood. This is actually one of the wood pieces from Dollar Tree that had been trimmed down, and I was trying to decide between that and a circle, and then I decided, because I have a ton of these Scrabble letters, I had ordered these because we had used them at the reception at my mom's funeral, and because she was obsessed with Scrabble, and so I literally have like, I don't even know, 10 bags of these. So I went on the hunt to find the letters, and it took me quite a while to find the letters to spell naughty and nice, but eventually I found all the right letters, and then I decided I also wanted to make the rest of the phrase using the letters, so I did need letters to spell out today I am feeling. So that is all the letters you will need to make this project. But once I got all the letters, I was ready to paint the sign white. And from there, it was a matter of hot gluing the letters down. To finish off this little sign, I took some baker's twine and hot glued it around the edges of it, as well as I left a little bit of a tail up at the top so that I could tie it off and actually hang it on the frame that's going to be holding this little sign. Here's the frame all spray painted. It's a little bit darker green, but honestly, I probably could have just left it as is. But I did like this because the other one was kind of plasticky and shiny looking, and it did make it look a little better. So I'm just gonna tell myself that. I grabbed the cardboard and just snapped it right back into the frame. I grabbed the Scrabble letters that are gonna spell out "Today I am feeling," and I'm gonna hot glue those directly onto the cardboard, and then get my little gold hook attached, and then put the sign on there, and that's it. So it's just kind of a matter of just assembly. Now, I didn't get my Scrabble letters on there perfectly straight. I thought I was being all genius by using a Post-it note to help space it, but I don't know. That's one of my weaknesses, is trying to get my letters straight. So that's a goal for 2022, is to learn how to make my letters straight. After the gold clip was glued down, I just tied a bow with that baker's twine so that it could hang on the clip. And then to finish it off, I wasn't going to, but then I thought I needed a little something extra, so I did go ahead and decide to add some greenery and berries to the top of it, and then it was complete. For this Dollar Tree DIY, I've got this sign that I'm going to make over. First step here is I popped out the back and decided to paint the actual back side of the sign with white, and then I covered up the autumn leaves and pumpkin please with a piece of red cardstock just to kind of finish that off. And then for the design, I did create something in Cricut Design Space on my Cricut, but I also made you guys a printable. And speaking of printables, the surface I've been using lately for printables has been giving me trouble. I've had more and more people tell me that they are not having they can't access it. So I, in the last video, went back and adjusted and tried a new way of doing printables. So I'm going to do it again for this one. So I did make this into a printable for you. So if you don't have a Cricut, you simply can print it out and stick it into the frame. So let me know in the comments if it works for you. I hope it does. Hopefully this will be a little better and more reliable. So once I got the design all put down on my sign, for the handle, it was just beads, and I wanted to do something just a little bit different. So I had some of these red glitter ornaments that came in a pack from Hobby Lobby in their miniature ornament section, and I decided to just thread an ornament and then a bead and then an ornament and then a bead onto the twine, and that became my handle. I got it all attached back, and then the sign was good to go. For this next project, you need to grab one of these metallic signs from Dollar Tree. It just needs to be metallic for this sign concept to work. So I'm going to be using the stocking. I cut off the hanger and then took some Waverly white chalk paint and painted the top of the stocking, and then I painted the bottom portion of the stocking with some of the crimson Waverly chalk paint. Once the paint was all dry, I took some Mod Podge and went over and sealed the whole thing. Now, this is where I messed up. Like, I'm going to tell you how to do it, basically. Don't do it how I do. I'm going to leave some audio in here of when I was doing it. I made my life really hard by doing it this way. So right now I'm showing you me Mod Podging the whole thing, but just let me put some clips in here and you guys can listen to me talk myself out of this horrible decision. Oh. Okay. This was a bad plan. No. Bad plan, bad plan. Fail! Okay, what the heck was I thinking? I needed to Mod Podge the center first. What am I doing? Okay. Okay, so lesson here. First, put the Mod Podge where you want the snow to go. Let that dry, then go in and seal the rest of the side. Do not do as I do, because that just got messed up and now I'm gonna have glittery snow in places that I don't necessarily want it, but that's okay. Okay, so if you couldn't pick up what I was laying down, what you need to do is you can go ahead and Mod Podge if you want to, or sorry, Mod Podge, pardon me, I have a thing about rhyming words, this whole thing, but then let it dry really, really good. Then go in on that little line where you want to add the glitter, add some more Mod Podge, and then put the snow down. Or you can do the section with the snow, which is gonna make it a little trickier if you do that first, because then you're trying to seal around it on the edges. So my recommendation would be just to go ahead and seal it as soon as the stocking is painted, then go in with a little bit more and do the glitter. So lesson learned there, but you know what? That's okay. Now for details on the stocking, I did cut out some decals on my Cricut, but I'm gonna be I have another little oopsie coming up here. I don't know. This project gave me so much trouble, but I do like how it turned out. I don't know, struggle bus town for this project. I cut out a little stocking. I'm going to put that in the center of the red, and then at the top you can see the real-time North Pole status. That's going to go down, and I also cut out the words naughty and nice. Now, when I put nice down, when I put the naughty down, it started to peel the paint off, and then a huge chunk of paint just peeled off my stocking. And I was like, that is fantastic. And so what I did was decide that I just needed to not put vinyl on this, because the paint going onto the metal, it didn't have a good adhesion. It never really does unless you put some Mod Podge down, then put paint down, and I didn't do all that. So I wasn't surprised that the paint peeled up, is what I'm trying to say. So I ended up having to come up with another plan for the words naughty and nice, but I did get the stocking and the real-time North Pole status down. To fix this little mistake, I grabbed some of the crimson paint and just painted over it with several coats, and then kind of coated the whole stocking with the paint. And then I decided for the words naughty and nice to just use some stickers. I don't know where these stickers came from. Honestly, I really do feel like these are stickers that I had in high school, because I vaguely remember them. So I cannot tell you where to find these tiny little black and white stickers, but I'm just going to use those to spell out the words naughty and nice. And now it's time to work on the name magnets. I just cut several little pieces of magnet that I got in this roll from, I think from Hobby Lobby. And I'm using some cardstock. You peel off the little paper on it, and then the cardstock sticks nicely to it. And I'm just using a pen and going to handwrite the names. You certainly could print out names if you want to make it a little more fancy or neater looking. But I'm just going to go like this, and I have a feeling that these names are going to be moving all over this little board over the next month or so. And then of course the last step, just put your hanger back on there, and then this sign is ready to be hung up. Now I've got a couple of nice / naughty list DIYs that I definitely wanted to show you. Again, if you haven't seen these, for this one I had 2 books from Dollar Tree that didn't have covers on it, and they need to be the same size, same look, everything like that. First step, I took some Annie Sloan brown wax and I brushed it all over both of the books. Once that was finished, I had 3 decals cut out on my Cricut, one that says nice list, one that says naughty list, and I made a seal, or I guess it's called a seal to put on the top cover. Now, if you don't have a Cricut, you can use stickers to get this same look. Definitely go that route as well. I applied all the decals, and then to finish this off, I took some red and white baker's twine, a little bit of greenery, a bell, and that's it. This is a simple DIY, but a really cute thing to display in your home. I found this trunk from Goodwill, and I decided as soon as I saw it, I knew what I wanted to do with it. Now, you certainly don't have to break it down like I do. I know when I originally made this, some people were like, oh no, you destroyed the trunk. I'm not a flower person. Like, I just don't like floral prints and things like that. So I went ahead and took that off. It was on there like just pieces of fabric, and it peeled off, so I could have easily put it back on. But anyway, I took that off along with all the hardware, and for the trunk, I gave it a little bit of a sanding and then brushed it with some white paint, and I painted all the all the hardware gold. And then I made a stencil using some Dollar Tree contact paper that says Naughty List Vault, and I stuck that down on top of the chest and painted that gold. To finish off my vault, I hot glued a little bit of greenery that I got from Hobby Lobby onto the front. I also added a padlock that I'd gotten from Dollar Tree that I had just painted gold. And then I just took some craft paper and wrote a couple names that belonged on the naughty list and had that sticking out. And then the vault was finished. For this DIY, I found this post mailing thing at Michael's, and what you want to find is just something you could, whether it be a mailbox from Dollar Tree or a trunk from Goodwill, whatever you want, to make a Naughty List Appeals box. So I just used my Cricut to cut out the words Naughty List Appeals. You certainly could use stickers, and I stuck it directly on here. And then to dress it up, I just took some greenery, made a little bit of an arrangement, attached it to it, and that's it. This is a super simple thing. If you find something that you need to make over, you could maybe add paint to it or things like that, but you basically are trying to make some sort of mailbox that people who need to ask Santa for a second chance have a place to put those appeals. Another fun thing that you can do is go searching on Pinterest for some free printables for a naughty list or nice list certificate. I found these. I will definitely link them down below, but I think it's just an extra little touch that you can do this holiday season. And there you go, a naughty versus nice list themed video for you. Let me know down below which one of these DIYs was your favorite. Also let me know at this point currently, are you on the naughty list or are you on the nice list? I would love to know. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really, really appreciate it. Here are some more videos that you might enjoy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!